Hi, today I'm going to talk about something really concrete that happens in the physical world, in the 3D world, and that is the bills that we get, the bills that materialize every month. Electricity bill to be specific. I was away to a metro city for a few days. I don't live in a metro city, I live in a much quieter place. And in that city, I found many people complain about the hike in the electricity rates. On exploring the matter further, I found that there are four companies that are operating in that particular city. Two of them are private companies and two of them are public sector companies, while three companies, two private and a public sector, have a higher tariff, whereas one company has a lower tariff. So there is a lack of uniformity there. There's one more place where you would find a lot of lack of uniformity, and that is the basis on which the tariff of power is constructed across the states. If you see the tariff of different states, you will be baffled that the tariff is not uniform in the entire country. While Delhi, which has the lowest tariff, um, has its uh, has its tariff rate beginning from 0 to 200, and there are other states like Gujarat where it has the tariff beginning from 0 to 150. From some states it's 0 to 100. There are some others where it is only from 0 to 50. I'm sure all these power companies, all those companies that are responsible for for creating this tariff will have arguments. But the bottom line is, when there is lack of uniformity, there is confusion. Now, this confusion can be done away with by systematizing the tariff even further, and that will contribute in bringing greater transparency. You will find it easy to compare one state from to the other, unless of course that's not something that you want. You don't want that these states are easily compared on the basis of their tariff. If it works for you, if it works in your favor. So that phrase comes to my head, that when you can't convince them, confuse them. So that's another uniformity, non-uniformity, excuse me. Other than why you have two private companies, two public companies looking after the power sector in a certain metro. Why would you give generation of electricity into private hands when it is not able to generate electricity at a more competitive rate than the public sector companies? What would be the basis? What would be the parameter? And generally, I am of the opinion, when it comes to exploiting the resource of earth, private hands should be kept away from it. Instead, what India really lacks in is the efficiency level as far as transmission and distribution is concerned. For this, here you may need more clarity, so I have done a bit of illustration. So power is generated here, then it is transmitted to a place where the transformers would increase the voltage, that voltage of the electricity that comes out of the power generating units, and then it would be transmitted again to the consumers with a transformer at this stage as well, which will reduce the voltage before it enters the domestic zone. And why would you like to increase the voltage at this particular point? Because if you have electricity passing or transmitting at a lower voltage, there would be loss of electricity due to resistance that is created from air. However, most of the electricity in India's case is lost at these two stages. Here there is a lot of theft happening. Here there is a lot of loss of electricity happening because we don't have the correct kind of an infrastructure, or we have lower voltages, which makes the electricity loss almost to the level of 20%. If you find the research from OECD, you'll know what I'm talking about. We lose about 20% of our output at this level because we are not able to transmit it efficiently. So this is my point, is I don't see much relevance in inviting private power generating companies at this stage. Efficiency could really be heightened, could really be raised by bringing them at the stage of transmission, where they will create, these private people will create infrastructure for more efficient transmission, higher voltage, so that there's no electricity or very little electricity lost due to resistance from air, and theft should also be stopped, or at least be minimized to the most minimalistic level by setting up smart grid and smart meter. Smart grid would mean that you keep a tab, you keep a check how much electricity is going from the transformers at this point and how much is reached at this point. Because usually people who are thieves, who are stealing away electricity, they connect wires from this stage to this, and a lot of electricity is lost here. So the transmission companies are not able to understand, while they had transmitted higher amount of electricity, where did it all go? It was stolen away. So when you know that the electricity that you're transmitting, that you're distributing, is lesser than the electricity that is received at this point, you would know immediately that it is stolen or the infrastructure has given way. So you can audit the situation and you can make amends accordingly. Moreover, the meters could be checked on a regular basis so that no stealing happens at this stage. So if you feel something, you have high bills coming and you have low usage, what you can do is to switch off. You can put down the main switch and then check your meter. If it is still moving, just look out for leakages. Moreover, if the meter is inverted, then also it moves slow. If a magnet is fitted somewhere nearby, then also it moves slow. So you can some of the auditing can be done by these distribution agents, and some of the auditing can be done by yourself. When you feel that you are giving more money away then you are using it in the name of bills, you can just, as I just said, put off your main switch and then check your meter. And if there is still some movement, look out for reasons for that. Anyways, so whatever, I have just tried to put in the gist of things of what I found, so that this process is simpler for you. There are 2 states in the country that are performing very well, where the power sector is in the profit zone. Unlike other states, not all, but most, that have huge debts because of the losses in the power sector. And these 2 states are Gujarat and West Bengal. The only trick they did, the magic simple trick they did, was to making the transmission and the distribution system more taut. Something that I already spoke about. So instead of complaining about not having enough money or funds to change the transmission and the distribution system, just give it to private hands if you can, or bring reforms at these 2 stages. And the difference could be startling. It would be positive, just like it was in the case of Gujarat and West Bengal, where they were dealing with a lot of losses, but things got turned around just by transmitting the electricity more efficiently and stopping the theft, and not and being more vigilant when it comes to giving away electricity for agricultural areas, because electricity consumes the most energy. So as far as subsidies are concerned, I've spoken about it in my last video. Giving unlimited free energy, electricity to them, instead of that, deposit some fixed amount into the accounts of these farmers. If they are able to use it efficiently, good. Otherwise, we're just killing the innovative process, the efficiency, the creativity, out of the box thinking of everyone. Now, this is pretty much it I wanted to talk about. I guess I'll see you later. Bye.